Hey everyone, this is Spencer.
And this is Anna.
And this is our favorite photo series.
Yes.
So this is Magaly and Karen's wedding, which we really loved.
Yeah, it was at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens. It's a nice venue.
Do you remember how long we were there on the day? Like 12 hours?
A long time.
A while.
A long time. I don't remember quite exactly how many hours, but it was definitely more than 8.
So we have this as the W, starting as a photo. So it's the W Midtown. That's where Magaly got ready and Karen got ready in their apartment condo place. I assume it's their condo. Just around the corner, like literally
like across
right
the street.
around
I
the
could
corner.
see their building from the window in the W.
Right. So
because I asked, I was like, where do you guys live?
So that's where I want to start. So I went with Karen and you went with Magaly, right? And you were all there and I was actually in their home. And so their home has a completely different feel than a hotel room. Anytime we photograph in a home, it has a really different feel. It feels lived in, I guess. Like,
well, it's home.
I mean,
so.
yeah. I mean, no matter how much you clean, you can't make it perfect. So,
well, it's honest, you know.
Yeah.
It's their home.
So here, first I'll show the wider shot just to give an idea. So this is what I walked into when I went there. To the right and left, they definitely cleaned up a certain area a little bit more than the others. But I really like that. So like even here, so I don't know, like for like
Is she figuring out like a playlist for?
I can't
for the
remember anymore. I
reception?
think it was a last minute thing. They were looking up something. I can't remember anything past that.
Right.
It was just really fast pulling up something.
But you know what? In this photograph, there's the watch gift.
Yes.
In the photo, along with a bottle
Right.
of water.
So this is the watch she got for Magaly.
Yeah.
As a gift.
Which is neat.
Which is really neat. And later she has that as the gift for the first look, which is wonderful that she had a gift for the first look. Just all around really, really great things.
Which we have seen, like another wedding we've shot where gifts were exchanged during, not Cayman Islands, in Belize. They did that too, where the bride gave the groom a gift. And
it's really nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in this situation, I mean, she was giving Magaly a gift. It was really, really nice.
Well, we'll get there.
But anyway, yeah, we'll get there. So what I really liked about this photograph, though, is just how much it takes you into the moment of what's happening. Like, you don't really need to be explained. Like, it's just really, I really like it. And I took it, so I'm a little biased.
I like it too. I included it in the blog post. So
then we go over to, let me see here. I think so here's your getting ready. It says this is Magaly. Getting ready over in the W. Lots of really cool, that's their flower girl. Is that right?
I'm not sure what it's her friend's daughter.
Is that right?
I
can't remember.
So. Things start to blur together with weddings a little bit, but
really, really fun as she's reading the note. And then she has, let me see, cufflinks with her initials or their initials. By the way, and then this is on the other side, the flip side. This is with Karen when the parents just first come in and see her on the day. Like, they're just really excited for her.
That's nice.
Anyway, okay, keeping on going. So, Anna, you just had this.
Oh, because it's, a custom.
Just because it says I have
letter.
loved you for 1,007 days?
Right. And on the inside, private, but they talked more about how long she had known her. And
so note to self, if you have letters, Anna is reading them.
Actually, on the day, I'm not. I'm really actually reading them afterward before I put anything on the blog. So I check it because I'm not actually really reading it on the wedding day and being like, oh, that's nice. I'm just like afterwards, I'm just doing a check before I put it like in a public space. So it's nothing like
good.
too private or anything like that. I just think about that after the fact. I'm not like lurking over your private letters or anything.
So then, all right, the next thing I did is the first look.
They're always beautiful letters.
First look, about a quarter of people do them. And when people ask us if we think that they should do it or not, like, should you do a first look, should you not? What I say is it has to do with more about how you want to spend the day together rather than saving time, getting those photos out of the way. Like, it's really not about that. To me, if somebody asked me, I think it's about actually seeing each other on the day and getting to be excited about the day together.
Right. And being able to spend more of the day together than like being stressed out and hiding from each other and things like that.
Right. It can sometimes cause more stress to try to be avoiding each other than it does to simply see each other.
Especially in venues that don't have a good arrangement, that aren't conducive to like keeping the two of you separate from each other. There's some venues that, the bathroom's down the hall and you have to walk past the room the other person's hiding in, and it's just that's kind of stressful. So.
Yeah. So anyway, if it's going to be stressful about that, first off, you could do a first look. But secondly, it's just how you want to spend the day.
And I know we've said this before, not in this video, but before we have also said it, in our opinion, and it's our opinion, that it doesn't take away from the moment of the bride walking down the aisle or the two of you seeing each other during the ceremony. It's like almost like a bonus, like a double, like seeing each other moment. So,
and the reason I have this here, not just because to highlight that point about first looks and everything. I mean, this is kind of behind the series, like figuring out what's going on. We can talk about the moment and the photograph. So here, I mean, one of us is following Karen. One of us is following Magaly. I don't know who I'm with at this point. I can't remember. Are you you're on?
This is me. I think this is me.
This is 7200. Whoever has a 7200, this is, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
So this is 7200 at 2.8. I'm sure at 200, it's got to be. But 100 ISO. But what we have so just for, again, the photography people or people that are interested in photography, how we're able to get this lighting. So
shade.
Well,
I mean, that's the answer.
That is a shade. Well, I was going to say that over here, like, you have...
It was a little tricky because there were splotches of sunlight coming through. This is like a little gazebo with glass.
So we had Magaly here go over just far enough to where her face is not in the sun. And then all we have to do is just hope that that's enough shade that both of them will be in the shade.
Or they'll both end up in the same type of shade. Because really, it was really harsh sunlight everywhere else. You can kind of see.
Well, yeah, and you can kind of see here, like, she's pretty bright. Karen's pretty bright in the background. And then when I go over to Karen, like, you can tell that, I mean, over here, like, Magaly's much darker now. When I'm properly exposing on Karen, or when Anna is, whoever it is.
Whoever, I don't
know. But then here's the other angle. This is with the 85 1.2, so we're shooting on different lenses to give a slightly different look. And this is with the 85 1.2, so this looks to me, yes, like it's at 1.2. So it is at 1.2, which lets this fall off happen. That's really, really nice. And again, we're at ISO 100, so it's perfectly clear. Like, you're not going to have... this is as clean as a photograph gets.
Right.
Some people would argue ISO 200 might be, but anyway.
Oh, well, anyway. But just, I mean, the light on her face...
And so we put them in a beautiful spot and then did not direct them whatsoever. Like, stand here. That was as much direction as they got.
Oh, I remember.
And then and we said, once it happens.
I remember also why I really liked the gift exchange during this moment.
Okay.
It's because it extends this moment. Because for some people, a first look can last like 1 minute or 30 seconds, and it's kind of short.
That's true.
And so this, you can look through the rest of these, it just extends it a little bit more. She's
adjusted bow tie. I mean, just so many nice things.
I mean, that's such a tender moment there. I love
and behind here, so the only thing about shade, and I really like it, and I don't think this is pure shade, actually. I think above them is a glass ceiling. Just as a side note, I think that's actually what's above them.
But it creates enough.
It creates enough shade.
Quote shade.
So the only problem here is that behind them, anything behind them is going to be stupidly bright compared to them, and so it's going to blow it out. But it doesn't blow it out so much that you lose all the details, such as this is the Atlanta skyline behind them. You can, if you're from Atlanta, you definitely can recognize that without any issue.
Right, which is nice. I think I brought down the highlights so you could see it a little bit better, just to help it out. So.
Okay, so then she gave her the watch, and I only have selected a few, so we may be skipping over a few, so we don't have this.
We don't have everything.
But she gave her the watch, is putting it on.
I mean, there's a glint of light glinting off of the watch right there. That's super cool.
That is super cool. Well, that's because that's where the sun is coming in.
I know, but it's worked out, and it's not a fake thing. But
and then they just did this.
I know, guys.
At least I think they did.
Oh yeah, they
did.
Them
By the way, side note, if we're to look at this shape here, just as a side note, forehead to forehead, nose to nose, that's really, really nice. I'm just letting you, if you happen to have that height arrangement where one person is slightly taller than the other,
yeah,
that's a really nice, not a pose because it's not posed here, but
that's
a really
just
great
snuggled, which is
photograph. It's a really great look. And if you were posing, this would be a really nice pose to do as well.
Right.
Anyway, and then family.
Now we're to the ceremony. Yeah, we're just jumping ahead to the ceremony.
Okay, so this is a ceremony.
A lot, obviously, but
yeah, this is a ceremony here. So, I mean, her walking down the aisle. This is definitely Anna's shot here because I think I was at the front or something. So Anna's gone over to doing this a lot with the 7200 at 200 at 2.8, getting a shot over the shoulder to the person waiting for the person walking down the aisle.
Right.
So then, this is this. So the reason I had this, you can see some people with their cell phones, like a few. It's because they had asked people, they're like, just get it out of your system.
Yep. Like after this, put all your phones away, all your cameras away, get it out of your system right now. And it was a great idea. That way people could get their photographs of this during the ceremony, and then they could focus on the actual ceremony later during the ceremony.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It kind of worked.
Okay.
I mean, I saw some people using it later, but I mean, people didn't quite get it, but it was nice. It was nice. I think it was really good.
Yeah.
Then the ceremony photo, just thought I'd show the both angles. So this, I really wanted to point it out just to show a difference. So they're in the exact same lighting. Like the two of them are in the exact same lighting. The background is in different lighting. So the background behind Magaly is a darker shade. So that's more shade behind her. Mm-hmm. And then this is behind Karen is more sun.
Right.
So just to say, the difference, like if you're ever wondering what it looks like to have, like she's in the shade and has shade behind her, and then she's in the shade and has sun behind her, it just gives a very different look. If you were printing this one would probably look a little bit better printed than this one, just because the brightness back here is going to pull your eye away from the subject.
Right, but there's nothing you can... I mean, that's the situation.
This is the situation. That's what it was, and that's totally what we're going to get because it's still a great photograph. But, side note, for those interested, this is why a lot of times we'll either put you or try to have a person. The best thing is to have them either in the sun or the reflection of the sun in the shade is in close to the line of where the shade hits the ground, if that makes sense, on the shade side. And then having the darkness behind you, whereas having the sun behind you, it's just a little bit different. And then this is straight on. This is, again, kind of more shade behind it, but this is just really nice. And the wind caught her veil, so I just thought I'd put it in there.
Okay.
That's the ring exchange. How often do you get a ring exchange with the veil going across with the wind?
No, I know.
I mean, come on. And then we have photos. I put a few photos in here of the cocktail hour.
Right. Because, again, they joined their cocktail hour. And, again, outside... This is well before sunset.
Well before.
Well before. So this is what month is this?
This is October the 4th.
Okay.
Which the cameras could have been off on what day it is, but
that's probably
it's roughly October the 4th. Oops. So here we can just look through these. So anyway, again, they came. What we always like to say is, if you can go to the cocktail hour, especially if it's outside. It's really gorgeous.
And you can still be introduced to your wedding reception. Like everybody goes in and then you just wait and then you're introduced and you get your big introduction.
So they had, it's just absolutely gorgeous lighting. I mean, we didn't have to do a thing. The amount of shots that we took per minute or whatever, or however, it went way up.
Yes. Compared to us taking photographs basically in a basement.
Yeah.
At the Georgian Terrace.
I just have this in there
that's where they put people.
I just liked how this white separates the background from. Anyway, it's just nicely.
And it's
composed.
on thirds.
Yeah. I think he was walking there. I don't know if that was mine. If it's mine, it was
he's
while
moving.
He was moving.
He's moving. Like he didn't stand there for you to get that shot or for me to get that shot. Whoever. I think we both took similar photographs.
We did, and I think mine was that one that had the white, whereas yours didn't. Anyway.
Okay. Similar thinking, but anyway. But that was their signature drink, so you can see everybody's holding it. Yeah. Like it was irrelevant for their cocktail hour.
I just had this in there because that's their favorite kind of wine. I think that's the right one. But anyway, they had a wine barrel sent to them because apparently they buy so much of it.
Are you sure? Is that the story?
Yes, I think that's the real story. I don't know. They can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I didn't hear this. So.
I'm pretty sure that it was because. Like that was, yeah.
Well, anyway, that's a pretty cool signature book right there.
Yeah, maybe they had to pay for the barrel. I don't know, but I think that's their favorite kind of wine there. And then you had this because you were just telling me that this is the best time to take photos.
Exterior photographs. Yeah.
Is when it's dusk.
I mean, this isn't a photo of the building that they're having the reception in, but it's basically an image that you will recognize as the Atlanta Botanical Gardens and building. And but the point is dusk. Dusk is really great for, hey, we're transitioning into the reception time frame, even if you have to kind of step out after the reception started to kind of get this establishing shot.
Right. And all these photographs are from the blog post. So if you look at Anna's blog post, a lot of times she'll do this because Anna's the one that totally puts together all the blog posts. We're trying to tell a story, and she'll have that, like that's when she's saying a transition piece. It's meant to tell the story, and it's transitioning you into the next time phrase. So as the viewer, you understand that, okay, we're going to a new time or a new space now. The sun is set. It's different.
Right. Oh, and I will also not take credit for lighting this Chihuly glass fountain.
No, that's just
that's how it is. So I mean, I didn't do that. So
yeah,
just saying.
This is the time of day shot. This is not nobody else can get this shot.
Right. This is just a dusk.
If you have the 85 1.2, you shoot it at 1.2, you'll get that shot.
Well.
Okay. So then I don't know. I just had this as a first dance photo. I just really liked it. I don't know. It's just a little bit of light peeking through. It's just fun, and I had a whole different look. But
right. Again, you're off camera flash. I'm bouncing, but this is really nice with just the rim light and everything.
And the last photo was simply to talk about the bubble machine.
Okay.
We've had a few questions about this. So this is their exit. There are a lot of bubbles, but if you notice the people blowing the bubbles,
you get 5 bubbles.
There's like 5 bubbles there, and
they're like 3 inches away from their face.
Yeah. So all these bubbles, and I think there's a bubble machine. Yes, there's one here and there's one farther down. There are bubble machines that are I think the least expensive bubble machine on Amazon.
They're children's bubble machines. They're like purple or something.
$20 or $22 or something. So they got 2. They're extremely hard to install the batteries, so make sure you install them ahead of time. And then you just kind of set them up and hit run, and they'll run for like hours. So,
yes.
I mean, just
successful at this wedding, at a different wedding that also had these same little bubble machines that are like 6 inches tall, and they sit on the floor. Some people accidentally kicked them over at the other wedding, but successful here.
Well, on this one, they were on a chair.
Okay.
We gave the bubble machines a chair.
That helps.
The other wedding also was very windy, and so the bubbles went all over, whereas this one, it was a little windy, but not really. So the bubbles, we were concerned about it. They'll either be in the photograph or not at all. So
I think the wind was working against us at the other wedding, and guests kicked it over.
I think did kick over one.
Two,
but anyway, I just really, again, I mean, of course, now what's happening here, this is a typical thing that we'll do for the exits. Anna's behind her, holding a flash. Most likely behind Karen here because Anna's tiny and can disappear somehow.
It's really a workout to like squat and walk at the same time.
Yeah, shooting at booty height.
But similar situation to the last image of like the first dance. I mean, it's the same, like light from behind, rim light.
Right. I mean, even the same ISO, slightly different aperture, different lens. This is the 50, whereas this is the 85 1.2 at 2.2. This is the 50. At 1.8, that's 1.2 lens. But anyway, so we just wanted to point these out. But overall, this was a really fantastic wedding. If you haven't seen the blog post, please do. Also, I wanted to make a call out for people. So we do the favorite photo series, and we usually don't actually get feedback or hear about anything.
We
from
never
anyone.
Get feedback.
No, sometimes people say like thank you.
Oh, well, in person.
Or like no. Sometimes or even like I've seen a couple on Vimeo where people say like thanks, this was great. But what I would love to have is people saying, hey, I'd love to see how you took this photograph, or I'd love for you to talk about this wedding. So that we really know what people are actually interested in, because we're just going off of the weddings that we think are our favorites. But maybe there's a certain photo.
Usually, like photos that we talk about are ones with a lot of emotion, or maybe sometimes it's an interesting technical camera thing or lighting thing. So, yeah.
So anyway, I just thought I'd do a call out. If you're interested, you can email us. It's at the bottom of our website, annaandspencer.com. Every single web page has our email at the bottom. You can fill out a contact form. You will not find us on Twitter. We are not big Twitter people. We have Twitter. It's Anna and Spencer. We have like 400 something followers. We have not posted in over a year.
Have we ever posted?
Yeah, we tried it once.
Okay.
And then we may be on Instagram eventually. We'll see. Yeah. Anyway, that's okay. So email, phone call, contact form, or you can tweet us on Twitter, and we'll just talk to you in a year.
See it in like 6 months from now or something like that.
All right. Anyway, favorite photo series. Thanks so much.